Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Well, last night and earlier today, the territory received strong showers of rain. Bernie Reno is in the News 2 Weather Center and has been tracking the tropics all day and has an update.
Well, Gabrielle has been downgraded to a tropical depression. The center of Gabrielle well disconnected from where you see the bright reds and whites as far as the cloud cover is concerned. It's about 55 miles south of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, but the center again, right in here, just south of Punta Cana, you'll notice that there's an area of convection mostly across Puerto Rico. In fact, cloud cover shows that while we have one mass of clouds to our north and east, another mass of clouds to our south and west. Right now, the rain has let up a little bit. Boy, was it heavy last night and this morning. Now, still quite a bit of showers around, and while Doppler radar is pretty quiet right now, we are going to be looking for the threat of some more heavy rain in the area over the next couple of days. I'll have all the details coming up with your News 2 AccuWeather 5-day forecast in just a little bit. Sandy?
Thanks for that, Bernie. And as a result of the weather, schools on the island of St. Croix were not in session. Shanika Robinson has the updates.
Last night, the Virgin Islands received what is known as the backlash of Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Heavy showers of rain covered the islands, particularly the island of St. Croix.
There was a great deal of rain, particularly on the island of St. Croix, about 1 inch of rain, which as a result flooded a number of areas here on the island of St. Croix.
As a result of the heavy showers, all schools on St. Croix were closed today.
You know, the conditions of the weather conditions, the roads being able to be traversed by the bus and by our employees are some of the major factors that made the determination today. To my knowledge, I think it cleared up a lot earlier on St. Thomas than it did on St. Croix. We took the brunt of it.
Insular Superintendent Gary Malloy met with principals of the St. Croix district today to assess any possible damages that schools may have occurred. The meeting was successful and schools on St. Croix will be in session tomorrow.
School is up and rolling tomorrow, barring everything stays well with the weather and no declaration of worse weather. But right now, we will be prepared to accept our students tomorrow, Friday.
Director of ITEMA, Elton Lewis, still urges the community to be careful on the roads.
To advise the general community that we still expect some rain, another heavy downpour, and then the system is going to hang around here in the Virgin Islands up until late Friday evening.
For more information, visit www.vitema.gov.
For those that has registered for VI alert, those alerts will be coming out and the system as well.
Shaniqua Robinson reporting for News 2.
Now, once again, schools on the island of St. Croix will be in session tomorrow until further notice. Meanwhile, the main telephone line into the Department of Education's main complex on St. Thomas, and that number 774-0100 is down. Department officials are currently working with Innovative to fix that problem, which appears to be the result of the damage caused by last night's storm, and they apologize for the inconvenience. The Department of Human Services also, their main office number at the Nude Hansen complex on St. Thomas, the number 774-0930 is temporarily out of service. Innovative Telephone Services reported the interruption to the department and is working to rectify that problem. Phone lines are expected to be operable by Monday, September 9th. Offices will remain open, however, during regular business hours. All emergencies can be reported to the Human Services main office on St. Croix at 773-2323. Management and staff apologize for any inconveniences. Meanwhile, the Department of Public Works gives an update on Tropical Depression Gabrielle. Public Works Commissioner Darrell Small talks about the impact of the tropical depression and how the department is handling the situation.
Most of our impacts, I would say, has been isolated to the island of St. Croix, where primarily we saw a few downed trees. We had some localized flooding in the vicinity of Country Day School along Melvin Evans Highway. But all in all, I think the territory we fared well, and this just continues to show the diligence that the department and the various agencies, various other government agencies that we continue to put forward in preparation for the season. By no means is everything 100%, but we're going to continue to maintain what we have and continue to work aggressively and addressing any other areas that we have some drainage structures that perhaps might be blocked, or some trees that can be cut back or debris removed to prevent any future flooding anywhere within the territory.
Meanwhile, public works crews could be seen working on the traffic lights where power had been restored Thursday after the thunderstorm knocked out electricity in several areas on St. Croix. WAPA officials said their crews have been working since 1:30 Thursday morning, and most of the affected areas are back in service.
Line crews are still continuing to work and will work into the night across the island to restore service to some areas that have not yet been restored, including some areas east of the Canagator Ballpark, Mid-Island, including Mount Pleasant, Mount Bechu, some areas west from Two Brothers or Two Williams to Frederickstead Town, and then on out to the north side of Villa Range Shopping Center area, Mount Beju, and Mount Pleasant Scenic East.
The Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority says due to that recent heavy rainfall, it is expected that the sewer collection system will likely experience a large inflow of stormwater into the system, which causes overflows in certain areas. The current condition of the sewer lines allows for the inflow and infiltration of stormwater into the sewer system and may exceed the pumping capacity at various pump stations that carry the flow from residential areas to the wastewater treatment plants. Until the rains and runoff subside, the sewer collection system will be impacted. Residents are asked to report any overflows to the V.I. Waste Management Authority. Well, we have been in some other news following the drug trafficking case involving DPNR's Enforcement Chief Roberto Tapia. On Wednesday, District Court Judge Ruth Miller presided over a pretrial conference where attorneys for the defendants filed several motions. News2's April Knight is standing by with an update. April?
Thank you, Sandy. VI Police Sergeant Angelo Hill, one of the defendants in the RICO case involving DPNR Enforcement Chief Roberto Tapia, will be allowed to work full-time while he's awaiting trial. According to Hill's attorney, Robert King, since the case might be extended beyond the trial date, Hill should be allowed to work at his family's business, the Delbert Hill Car and Jeep Rental in St. John, so he can support his family and fulfill his duties to his legal counsel. Federal agents believe that Hill supplied Tapia with 7.72 kilos of cocaine on the evening of May 17th, and that he played a significant role in the trafficking of about 58 kilos of cocaine from September 12th to May 2013. District Court Judge Ruth Miller did express concerns about Hill being able to travel around St. John. She finally granted the request with conditions that Hill be allowed to work in one location only and to travel only from his workplace and back to his home. Meanwhile, attorneys for defendants Stephen Torres and Eddie Lopez have filed a motion to suppress information on cell phone use, information, and IRS records, stating that civil information cannot be used to start a criminal investigation. Torres and Lopez were arrested May 17th. The indictment against them cites evidence that Tapia met with these two men and obtained money with which he bought cocaine from Hill. Attorneys for Hill and Tapia also filed motions to suppress most of the evidence against their clients on the grounds that they were obtained without sufficient probable cause. Attorney for Hector Alcenio further added that he will be filing a motion to sever his client as a defendant in the case because Alcenio had minimal involvement and could be held back by the complicated RICO case against the other defendants. The trial date is currently set for September 30th. That's all for now. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that update, April. We'll turn our attention over. Coming up on News2, an update after the VI Board of Elections met during a monthly meeting, plus more on the selection of a Deputy Supervisor of the Elections to the Joint Board. Meanwhile, Harry Daniel, an Army and police veteran, has been appointed to lead the Virgin Islands Office of Veterans Affairs. We'll be right back. Well, on Wednesday morning, Governor John P. Young Jr. convened a meeting of the Virgin Islands Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, the committee to determine both social and economic development related priorities of the territory for the upcoming year. The CEDS consists of plans and projects that are to be submitted to the U.S. Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration for possible federal grant funding support, including alternative energy grants, business development assistance, expansion of information and technology systems. Also present were Lawrence Kupfer, President and CEO of VINGN, Labor Commissioner Albert Bryan, and Richard DeFeed, Chairman of the Virgin Island Workforce Development Board, and Gold Coast Yachts, VI Port Authority's Director Carlton Dow, and Roger Dewey of the St. Croix Foundation. St. Croix could soon have a new elections deputy supervisor. The board voted during its regular session Wednesday to recommend a local activist to that position. They also talked about what their response will be to a federal audit. News2's Erica Parsons has more.
So then you guys did recommend Ms. Genevieve Whitaker?
Yeah, because that's what the statute says. After you allow the supervisor to be involved in the recommendation.
During a St. Croix District Board regular meeting Wednesday, board members present voted unanimously to recommend local activist and political analyst Genevieve Whitaker for the position of St. Croix's elections deputy supervisor. But the decision doesn't stop there. The joint board has to approve the position that has been vacant since March, when Deputy Supervisor James Weber resigned.
They already wasted 7 months from March to now, and you need a deputy supervisor in St. Croix and St. Thomas to continue the administrative and financial certification of documents.
Also addressed at Wednesday's meeting was how the members would respond to a federal audit by the Inspector General's office for a 10-year period starting in 2003.
I don't know what they're going to say. I know what I'm going to say. I can simply tell them that from the time I became the chairman, I have been asking then and before for Mr. Ross, Mr. Abramson, and other individuals, including Mr. Alicia Wells, for these financial information, the Impress Fund and all those have a money. I never got it up to now.
The question was also raised at Wednesday's meeting by member Raymond Williams regarding a difference of more than $100,000 in the budget approved by the board and then submitted for fiscal year 14 to the Senate.
I work for the people who put me in the Board of Elections, so therefore, when they agreed and what the OMB recommended, I said it's my responsibility to increase these numbers because we have election coming, primary compliance with the consent decree, and transportation for vehicles to move the DS200 around, along with other things that we have to do in advertising.
Bryan says he just wants a system that is fair and transparent.
At the end of September is the end of the fiscal year, and if we don't use up all our monies for the outstanding bills and obligation, then we can't convince that we need the money to do what we're going to do. And in selecting Mrs. Whitaker, we have a legal mind on board that can do the work when other people is ducking and hiding.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Chairman Bryan said that the governor requested that the elections board send their responses to the audit to him before sending him out. Bryan said he thought that was a foolish idea and questioned why the governor hasn't responded to what his financial team has been doing. Well, Harry Daniel, an Army and police veteran, has been appointed to lead the Virgin Islands Office of Veterans Affairs, guiding several projects and outreach efforts that will improve the lives of those who have served their country. Daniel, who served as the office's assistant director, will helm the agency responsible for helping the territory's veterans access health care, job training services, and the benefits they have earned through their military service. He replaces Morris Moorhead, who resigned from the position last year. Harry Daniel embodies the tremendous tradition of service we associate with so many dedicated and patriotic Virgin Islanders of his generation. He understands the needs and struggles of his fellow veterans, and his diverse life experiences make him an ideal candidate to represent those who have won the nation's. Well, Friday, September 6th is the first Friday of this month, and of course, business owners from all over the territory and beyond are coming together to mingle, exchange information, and benefit a lucky organization. Well, here's this month's First Friday beneficiary and a few participating business owners.
The organization's been around since 1978 and has worked very hard under some very fine people to assure that within their limits that they can help the hospital purchase equipment for the needs of all our patients, local and our visitors.
First of all, it's business to business. Our product is much needed in the island. I think that we're here to help people reduce their energy bills. We have a device that we've been selling for 4 years that is actually an energy-saving device that works off refrigeration, coolers, and freezers.
I've been partnering with First Friday for a little over a year now. We found it to be a wonderful event to, A, get to know a lot of the people in the community, be visible, be available to answer any questions regarding our business, and that's providing solar energy for both businesses and commercial entities, as well as residents here in the St. Thomas Virgin Islands.
First Friday not only helps businesses, but it gives back to the community, and that's, Synergy wants to do that. We want to be able to serve and also give back.
Now be sure to go out and support First Fridays and the beneficiary Partners for Health. Be sure to stick around. Let's see what's happening with the weather. Your AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.